The grand arena of Varkesh floated in open space, held together by ancient alloy rings and glowing shields. It was a place where legends were made and broken. Warriors from dozens of worlds gathered here when the Galactic Alliance wanted to test strength, skill, and will. This cycle, the arena was full. Rows of alien spectators filled the stands. Some had scales, some had fur, some had skin like stone or glass. All of them had come for one reason: to witness the trials of worth. At the center platform stood Princess Kaelira of the Threxian clans. She was tall, armored in dark battle gear marked with silver lines. Her posture was perfect. Her eyes were sharp and focused. Kaelira had trained for combat since childhood. She had led armies before reaching full adulthood. Stories of her victories were known across multiple star systems. To her people, she was more than royalty. She was proof of strength. Kaelira looked across the arena with calm confidence. This was not her first trial, and she knew it would not be her last. No opponent here truly worried her. The announcer's voice echoed through the arena. Warriors of the Alliance, today's trials will decide who stands worthy to protect the outer sectors. A roar followed. One by one, champions stepped forward. Massive fighters from high-gravity worlds, swift hunters from jungle planets, tactical minds from machine-guided species. Then, at the far edge of the platform, a final figure appeared. The noise changed, not louder, different. Confused murmurs spread through the stands. The figure was smaller than most. No heavy armor, no visible weapons beyond simple gear. 2 arms, 2 legs, soft skin. A human. Kaelira's eyes narrowed slightly. So that is Earth's representative, she said quietly. Around her, other warriors reacted openly. A human? They survived space long enough to arrive? Is this a mistake? Laughter followed. Humans were known to the Alliance, but not respected. Their world was dangerous, yes, but their bodies were considered weak. No natural armor. No claws. No enhanced senses. They survived by tools and teamwork, not personal combat. Kaelira crossed her arms. She felt no anger, only mild disappointment. The human stepped forward and stopped at the marked position. He removed his helmet, revealing a calm face and focused eyes. His expression did not change despite the noise around him. He did not look proud. He did not look afraid. He simply waited. The announcer continued. This is Lieutenant Aaron Cole, representative of Earth. More laughter followed. Kaelira stepped forward before the announcer could continue. You should not be here, she said, her voice carrying clearly across the platform. These trials are not for fragile species. The arena quieted. Aaron turned to face her. He did not bow or insult her. He simply met her gaze. I'm here because my people were invited, he said evenly. Kaelira studied him closely now. His stance was relaxed, but balanced. His breathing was slow, controlled. Interesting, she thought, but still not impressive. She stepped closer. You won't last long, human, she said. It would be wiser to withdraw. Aaron did not answer right away. He looked around the arena, at the watching warriors, at the massive space beyond the shields. Then he spoke. I didn't come here to prove I'm stronger than everyone, he said. I came to see how far I could go. The words were simple, but something about them caused a ripple of silence. Kaelira felt it and did not like it. The announcer quickly regained control. The trials will begin with the endurance walk. The central platform shifted. Sections separated and reformed into a long, narrow path, suspended above a simulated gravity field. Wind systems activated. Temperature controls dropped. This test measures balance, endurance, and focus, the announcer said. Falling ends participation. Kaelira stepped onto the path without hesitation. This test was beneath her. She had trained in far worse conditions. One by one, the warriors followed. Aaron stepped onto the path last. The wind increased instantly. The path tilted and shifted, reacting to each step. The gravity field below pulsed unevenly. Designed to disrupt internal balance, several large warriors struggled immediately. Their strength worked against them as the path moved under their weight. Kaelira advanced smoothly. Her movements were practiced, precise. She adjusted instantly to each change. She glanced back. Aaron was still walking. Not fast. Not slow. He placed each step carefully, eyes focused forward. When the wind pushed, he leaned into it. When the path tilted, he adjusted his center of mass. He stumbled once but recovered without panic. Kalira frowned. Minutes passed. More warriors fell. The crowd grew quieter as expectations shifted. Aaron reached the halfway point. Kalira was near the end. She paused briefly and looked back again. This time, she watched him closely. His breathing remained steady. His face showed effort but also control. He did not fight the path. He adapted to it. That was not weakness. That was survival skill. The test ended moments later. Only a few warriors remained, including the human. The platform stabilized, and the survivors stepped onto solid ground. The announcer spoke again. Endurance walk complete. Survivors will proceed. For the first time, Kalira heard respectful murmurs instead of laughter. She approached Aaron again. You are more stubborn than expected, she said. He nodded once. Gravity trains you early. She did not understand the comment but sensed meaning behind it. The next test was announced. A tactical challenge. Teams were formed randomly and placed in a simulated combat zone filled with obstacles, energy barriers, and timed objectives. Kalira found herself placed on a team with Aaron. She did not hide her displeasure. Do not slow me down, she said. Aaron checked his equipment calmly. I won't. The trial began instantly. Chaos erupted. Some warriors charged forward aggressively. Others hesitated. Kalira moved with speed, disabling obstacles and advancing toward the objective. She expected Aaron to struggle behind her. Instead, he signaled warnings. Left corridor collapsing. Energy trap ahead, timed pulse. Flank route is safer. She ignored him at first until the corridor he warned about collapsed exactly as he predicted. She adjusted. Against her will, she began listening. They reached the objective with seconds to spare. Their team finished first. When the simulation ended, Kalira felt something unfamiliar. Respect mixed with irritation. She turned to Aaron. You think differently than most warriors, she said. He shrugged lightly. Most humans do. The final announcement of the day echoed through the arena. Tomorrow's trial will be direct combat. The crowd erupted. Kalira's attention snapped forward. Combat pairs will be selected by ranking, the announcer continued. Top performers will face each other. A pause. Princess Kalira of the Threxian clans rank 1. Another pause. Lieutenant Aaron Cole of Earth rank 2. The arena went silent. Kalira slowly turned toward the human. So did everyone else. Aaron met her gaze again. For the first time in her life, Kalira felt something she had never felt before, a battle. Not fear, but uncertainty, and deep within her, a question formed, one she had never needed to ask before. What kind of strength had she truly been facing all along? Not because fewer beings had come, but because expectation hung heavy in the air. Word had spread across the station during the night. The human had ranked second. He would face Princess Kalira herself. For many spectators, this was impossible. For Kalira, it was unacceptable. She stood alone in her preparation chamber, adjusting the final seals of her armor. Her movements were precise, almost ritualistic. This armor had seen countless battles. It had never failed her. Yet today, her thoughts were not calm. She remembered the human's steady steps on the endurance path, his warnings during the tactical trial, his calm voice in chaos. Strength without noise, she thought. She dismissed the idea quickly. Strength was proven in combat, and combat was where she ruled. Across the arena, in a much simpler chamber, Lieutenant Aaron Cole finished his own preparations. His gear was plain compared to the others. No heavy plating, no ornate symbols. He checked his gloves, tightened a strap, then sat quietly. He did not meditate the way some warriors did. Instead, he replayed moments from the trials in his mind. The arena layout, Kalira's movement style, her reach, her rhythm. She's fast, he thought. Very fast. But fast was not everything. A soft tone signaled that combatants should move to the arena floor. Aaron stood and walked forward. When both fighters stepped into the central ring, the crowd rose to its feet. Thousands of eyes focused on them. The size difference alone drew attention. Kalira looked like a force of nature standing still. Aaron looked almost ordinary. The announcer's voice echoed. This combat trial tests skill, control, and endurance. No lethal force is permitted. Yield or incapacity ends the match. Kaelira activated her blade, a solid energy weapon shaped like a curved sword. It hummed softly. Aaron activated no visible weapon. That caused another wave of murmurs. He plans to fight bare-handed? Is this arrogance or ignorance? Kaelira took one step forward. You still have time to withdraw, she said. I will not slow my strike. Aaron shook his head once. Then don't. The signal sounded. Kaelira moved instantly. She closed the distance faster than most eyes could track, her blade cutting the air toward Aaron's center. It was a clean, decisive opening strike, the kind that ended fights. Aaron moved just enough. He twisted aside, the blade missing him by a breath. He stepped back, boots sliding slightly on the arena floor. The crowd gasped. Kaelira did not pause. She flowed into the next attack, then another. Her strikes were controlled, measured, relentless. Aaron retreated, blocking with forearms and angled movements. He did not attempt to strike back. Not yet. To Kaelira, it looked like confirmation. He was surviving, not fighting. She pressed harder. Her blade flashed. Sparks flew as it struck his defensive gear. Each hit carried force meant to overwhelm. Aaron absorbed it, redirected it, yielded ground. Inside, his muscles burned. Every block rattled through his arms. She was stronger than any human opponent he had trained against. But she followed patterns. After several exchanges, Kaelira noticed something unsettling. The human's breathing had changed, but not in panic. It had slowed. He was settling in. She adjusted her rhythm, changed angles, attacked lower, then higher. He still adapted. How? She wondered. She leapt back, creating distance, then charged again, this time with speed meant to end it. Aaron saw the shift. Now, he stepped forward instead of back. The sudden change caught Kaelira off balance. His hand struck her forearm, not hard, but precise, redirecting her blade. His other hand pushed against her shoulder, breaking her stance. She stumbled back a step. The arena went silent. Kaelira stared at him. You dared, she said quietly. Aaron did not answer. He stayed ready, knees bent, eyes alert. The fight resumed. This time, Kaelira fought with less certainty. She tested, feinted, watched, and she realized something troubling. The human was learning her. Every exchange made him better prepared for the next. She struck again, and he countered not with power, but timing. He used her momentum. Her own force worked against her. Anger sparked within her. She increased her output, pushing her body harder. Her strikes became heavier, faster. Aaron was driven back again. A sharp hit slipped through and struck his side. He grunted and dropped to one knee. The crowd roared. Kaelira raised her blade, ready to end the match. But Aaron looked up at her and smiled. Not in mockery, in determination. He rose again. Kaelira hesitated for just a moment. The announcer's voice broke in. Combatants, maintain control. She stepped back, breathing hard. The pause gave both fighters time to reset. Kaelira's chest rose and fell. Sweat beaded beneath her armor. This was not supposed to be difficult. You are resilient, she admitted. But resilience will fail. Aaron flexed his fingers. Pain pulsed through his side. He ignored it. Maybe, he said. But not today. The second phase of the combat began. Environmental hazards activated. The arena floor shifted into uneven platforms. Gravity fluctuated. Energy barriers rose and fell at random intervals. Kaelira moved with practiced ease. This kind of chaos was familiar. Aaron adjusted more slowly, but he adjusted. When gravity increased suddenly, Kaelira leapt effortlessly. Aaron crouched instead, lowering his center. When gravity dropped, he pushed off and rolled forward. Different methods. Same result. They clashed again, this time among moving platforms. Kaelira struck from above. Aaron rolled beneath. Aaron climbed a platform. Kaelira shattered it with force. Each exchange drew them deeper into the trial, and deeper into each other's understanding. Kaelira began to feel it. Not exhaustion, but doubt. Every warrior she had faced before either overwhelmed her or collapsed under pressure. None had stayed calm this long. None had adapted so fully. "You fight like you expect to lose," she said during a brief break. Aaron shook his head. "No. I fight like I expect it to be hard." That answer stayed with her. The fight reached a turning point when a gravity surge knocked Kalira off balance. For the first time, she fell to one knee. The crowd froze. Aaron stood above her, breathing hard. He could strike. He did not. Instead, he stepped back. Kalira looked up, stunned. "Why?" she demanded. Aaron lowered his guard slightly. "Because this isn't about winning," the announcer interrupted sharply. Combat trial suspended. Energy barriers rose between them. Time limit reached. Outcome will be decided by council review. The crowd erupted into noise, confusion, debate, disbelief. Kalira stood slowly. She felt something unfamiliar in her chest. Not defeat, but respect she had not earned through victory. As they were escorted from the arena, she spoke quietly. "You are not weak, human." Aaron met her gaze. "Neither are you." The council chamber loomed ahead, and Kalira knew the next trial would not be about combat alone. It would be about truth, and she was no longer sure she was ready for it. Its walls were formed from layered crystal and dark metal, marked by symbols from civilizations long gone. At the center stood a wide platform where decisions were made, decisions that shaped the fate of entire systems. Princess Kalira stood on one side of the platform. Lieutenant Aaron Cole stood on the other. Between them floated a projection of the arena, paused at the exact moment the combat trial had ended. Council members watched silently from elevated seats, their forms hidden behind shifting light fields. The silence stretched. Finally, the High Arbiter spoke. "The combat trial did not end in victory or defeat," the Arbiter said. "Both participants demonstrated exceptional control. Therefore, the final trial will determine worth." Kalira straightened. Aaron remained still. "This final trial," the Arbiter continued, "is not a test of combat." Murmurs spread through the chamber. "It is a survival mission." The projection changed. A hostile zone appeared, a shattered moon orbiting a dying star. Violent storms tore across its surface. Gravity shifted unpredictably. Energy interference filled the air. "No external support will be provided," the Arbiter said. "Success requires cooperation, judgment, and will." Kalira's jaw tightened. She understood now. This trial would force her to rely on the human. Aaron studied the projection quietly. "The mission begins immediately," the Arbiter said. Transporting participants. Light engulfed them. They arrived in chaos. Wind howled across broken stone. Dust and debris flew in sharp currents. The sky burned with unstable light from the nearby star. Kalira landed on one knee, stabilizing herself instantly. Aaron landed less smoothly, rolling once before rising. He scanned the terrain. "We need shelter first," he said. Kalira looked at him sharply. "The objective marker is east, and the storm front is west," Aaron replied. "If it reaches us first, we won't reach anything." She hesitated, then nodded once. They moved. Together, they found partial cover beneath a collapsed structure carved into the moon's surface. The wind weakened slightly there, though the ground still trembled. Kalira activated a short-range scanner. "Energy readings are unstable." Energy. Aaron adjusted a device on his wrist. "Interference from the star. Electronics will fail if we rely on them too much." She glanced at him. "You planned for this?" "We plan for worse," he answered. The ground shook violently. A deep crack split the terrain nearby, sending fragments into the air. Kalira reacted instantly, grabbing Aaron and pulling him clear. He caught himself and nodded. "Thanks." She released him quickly, unsettled by how natural the action felt. They continued moving toward the objective marker, a beacon placed deep within the hostile zone. Reaching it would complete the mission. Hours passed. The terrain grew more dangerous. Gravity shifted without warning. Platforms collapsed. Dust storms reduced visibility to almost nothing. More than once, Kalira stumbled. Each time, Aaron steadied her. Not with force, with timing. "You're slowing," he observed. She bristled. "I am not weak." "I know," he said calmly. "But even strong systems overheat." She said nothing. Later, when Aaron's steps faltered, She returned the support without comment. At one point, they reached a narrow ridge, with nothing but a violent energy field below. Kalira could leap it. Aaron could not. She looked across the gap, then back at him. "I can cross and secure a path," she said. "And leave you alone on the other side?" Aaron asked. She frowned. "This mission is about survival." "Yes," he said. Together, she studied him. Then she powered down her blade and knelt at the edge. "I will anchor," she said. "You cross first." I will anchor. I will anchor. I will anchor. I will anchor," she said. He blinked. "You trust me?" "I trust the mission," she replied. He crossed slowly, carefully, using her anchor to steady himself. When he reached the other side, he secured the line and turned back. "Now you," he said. She crossed easily. But something had changed. Trust had formed where rivalry once stood. They reached the beacon area as the storm reached its peak. The structure housing the beacon was damaged. Energy surged wildly around it. Accessing it would require manual override inside the unstable core. Kalira stepped forward. "I will go," she said. Aaron grabbed her arm. "No," he said firmly. "The energy surge is lethal to your physiology." She stared at him. "And harmless to yours?" "No," he admitted. "But survivable." She shook her head. "That is unacceptable." He met her gaze evenly. "This is what humans do." Before she could stop him, he moved. He entered the core chamber as energy arced around him. Alarms echoed. The floor shook violently. Kalira followed despite herself. "Cole!" she shouted. He struggled to reach the override panel. His movements slowed. His breathing became heavy. She reached him and braced his body as the chamber shook. "Why?" she demanded. "Why risk yourself?" He looked at her through the chaos. "Because someone has to," he said. Together, they forced the override. The beacon activated. The storm began to weaken. They collapsed against the chamber wall as the ground stabilized. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Kalira laughed softly, a sound she had not made in battle for years. "You are infuriating," she said. Aaron smiled weakly. "I've been told." Light surrounded them as transport activated. They returned to the council chamber. The Arbiter rose. "The mission is complete," the Arbiter said. Against extreme conditions, silence followed. Then Kalira stepped forward. She removed her helmet and placed it at her feet. "I request permission to speak," she said. "Granted." She turned to face the council and the watching galaxy beyond. "For generations," she said, "we believed strength was measured by force alone. Speed, power, victory." She looked at Aaron. "I was wrong." Murmurs spread. "The human did not overpower me," she continued. "He endured. He adapted. He protected. He chose responsibility over pride." She faced the council fully. "That is strength." She turned to Aaron and bowed. A warrior's bow. The chamber erupted not in mockery, but in respect. The Arbiter spoke once more. "Let it be recorded," the Arbiter said, "that humanity has proven worthy." Aaron stood quietly, unsure what to do. Kalira stepped beside him. "You changed how I see the galaxy," she said softly. He looked around at the vast chamber. "We're still learning ourselves," he replied. Beyond the station, messages spread across star systems. Humans were no longer labeled fragile. They were labeled enduring, not because they conquered, but because they stood together.